Good morning to us today. It is another day and Bitcoin is doing another thing entirely. I want to quickly take us to the charts so that we can see for ourselves the facts that are emerging from the charts today. We are still early in the week. Today is Tuesday, and we are expecting the announcement to come from the announcement about inflation figures. The Fed will do an announcement about inflation figures. Already we are hearing of, so not inflation figures, sorry please, not inflation figures, interest hike. The Fed will do an announcement about interest hike, and like it or not, as usual, it will impact on the market again. Fundamentally, it will impact on the market. Now, if you look at the chart right now before us, this is the daily chart of Bitcoin and the US dollar that is before us right now. And 19,500, which has been our support for quite some time, is right now the resistance. Again, I want to remind us that every previous support will become the future resistance. And every previous resistance will become the future support. Right now, 19,500 that has been the support for Bitcoin for quite some time has turned to be the resistance right now. And if Bitcoin must move at all above 19,500, then the buy pressure that we saw yesterday after Bitcoin fell below 18,400, that buy pressure that we saw yesterday that caused this pin bar. Look at the pin bar. You see the pin bar, the wick, the green one. Look at this green one. Yeah, it was a buy pressure that pushed Bitcoin from around this 18,300 that Bitcoin fell to yesterday, that pushed Bitcoin to above 19,000. But getting to 19,500, it could not break. The reason is because that 19,500 for some time has been a very strong support for Bitcoin. It has been a very strong support for Bitcoin. And as you expect, that very strong support will also turn to be a very strong resistance right now. Now, one factor that will invalidate all of these is if the dollar index respond negatively to the inflation figures, to the interest hike figures that will be announced by the Fed. But I doubt if it will impact negatively on the price action of the dollar index, on the value of the dollar index, because as it is, it appears to be that the interest rate will still be raised to the upside. It has not pivot, and we are not expecting same figures. We are not expecting it to be reduced. We're not expecting to be reduced. Rather, it will either be 75 basis points or so, and that will mean that liquidity will be mopped out of the market even the more. That is what it means. And when liquidity is mopped out of the market the more, then demand is reduced. Demand becomes weakened. That is what it is. Simple economics. And when demand becomes weakened, then it therefore means that there are no pressure, no buy pressures any longer. So supply will flood the market. Supply floods the market. That will result to a downtrend. It will result to a downtrend. And so it's likely that this 19,500 that we are seeing Bitcoin right now may pull Bitcoin down further when the announcement is being made. That is one of the scenarios that we'll be looking out for. All right, quickly, I remind us again that if Bitcoin fall from 19,500, we will be looking at 18,500 once again as a support. That is what we'll be looking at. We don't know if buy pressure will come in to put it up once again. So that's it on the price action of Bitcoin. Now let's quickly move and see what the market is doing. The moving average divergence and convergence. Yeah, Simple, simple. The MACD is still showing bearish, sentiment as there. The MACD is still showing bearishness for the price of Bitcoin. Look at it's in the bearish territory right now. And then let's look at the RSI, that is the resistant strength index. Let's look at the RSI right now, what the RSI is doing. Yeah, if you look at the RSI, there's also weakness in the RSI. There's really, really serious weakness in the RSI also. The RSI has been making lower lows recently. We expect the RSI to make higher high for the old game to change to the upside. That is what it is. Simple. All right. Before we go, I want us to quickly to look at the chart of Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. Very important. We look at the chart of Bitcoin on the weekly time frame also. Okay. Let us move to the weekly time frame and see what Bitcoin is doing there also. All right. Let me position this chart very well so that things become clearer for us to understand. Bring this down, come down. All right, quickly let us now move to the weekly time frame. All right, on the weekly time frame you will also notice that 19,500 also acted as a resistance. 19,500 also acted as a resistance even on the weekly time frame. And note, we are the pattern of this candle that we are seeing, pin bar, we'll call it pin bar, we'll call it kind, weak, sometimes can be bullish. Yeah, at the end of a downtrend, this is an armor and sometimes can be bullish. So I would not be surprised if this candle, if we move sideways for the rest of this week, and close the week like this, I bet you by next week the price of Bitcoin will move straight to 21,000. That is what will happen. Now, even above 21,000. Now, another thing can happen, that by the end of this week, Bitcoin, this particular pin bar that we are seeing now, this particular candle that we are seeing, like that is an armor for this week. Another thing that can be possible is that the full body of the candle can move above that 19,500. And when it moves above that 19,500, you know what? It means that the new week will open above 19,500. That is what it means. Wow, we have been in this sideways movement for quite some time now. The people that are the sideline have been expecting Bitcoin to fall below 17,005. Well, we'll be keeping our eyes to see how that will play out, because long before now, they are predicted that it will go below 17,005. But this is over 3 months. It has not gone below 17,005. So that goes a long way to tell us that 17,005 might already be the bottom for Bitcoin. All right, we want to round up the RSI. Yeah, the MACD on the weekly time frame, the MACD is still bullish, and like I will always tell us, the higher time frames are more reliable. Yeah, the higher time frames are more reliable. The MACD looks bullish here. Yes, MACD looks bullish on the weekly time frame. Now let us take a look. Let's take a look at the RSI. Let's take a look at the RSI. This is the MACD, looking quite bullish. All right, let's take a look at the RSI on the weekly time frame. Now something happened on in the RSI on the weekly time frame before the market fell down. Look at the RSI on the weekly time frame. Before the market fell down, the RSI already showed us a bearish divergence. The RSI already showed us what? A bearish divergence. So right now, for this market to turn to the upside, we have to see this RSI moving above the previous, high. It has to break above this particular trend line that you are seeing, this yellow trend line. If the RSI break above it, wow, then we are going to move to the upside. Simple. This one is, there is no argument about this. The high probability that we're going to move to the upside. That is what it is. Because what that means is that we are going to be forming a bullish divergence. One, two. What that also means is that strength will be coming into the market to be pushed to the upside. That is what it is. I want to say a very big thank you to Ross. I'm going to do a very special video shortly after this video. A very special video shortly about Zenic and development and updates that are coming out of Zenic. Zenic will mint millionaires. Zenic will mint millionaires. Zenic will change lives. All right. Thank you very much. This is what I have to share with us today. Bye for now. See you in my next update.